Inside today's news video, Rec Room seems to be in a sticky situation from a recent announcement, and we have a bunch of developer talk talking about upcoming features and things we should see inside of Rec Room soon. So strap in and let's get started with another new news video. So recently, we got a little announcement from Rec Room developers saying today they're sharing an internal post from their head of UGC engineering about dealing with tech debt and how frustrating it can be for you as players, us as developers. This announcement leads into a developer blog that talks about the messy middle, quote unquote. They go on to say, because of the way we built Rec Room, we need to rebuild a lot of it. When we started out, we weren't thinking about UGC, scalability, security, multi-platform, or a whole host of things. All of those things essential to running Rec Room now came later, and we built them on top of a platform that didn't anticipate those developments. i.e., Rec Room initially then didn't think that they would turn into the game they are now. They're sort of like a quote-unquote different game now, if you want to go that far. Continue on, they say that they started a number of these rebuilds in the last 2 years. And as they've seen from what creators are building and what they want more of, we got a better idea of the areas we need to invest in for today and our platform's future. Sometimes these rebuilds are invisible to the majority of players, e.g. referee security or new server infrastructure, and sometimes they're very much the opposite, rooms 2 or new avatars for example. Every one of these rebuilds has had this terrible point in development that I like to call the messy middle. All of our users are on the old system and almost all our development time is on the new system. This is an awful place to be for everyone. We see bugs and want features on the old system, and we are trying really hard to finish the new system and can't spend time patching the old systems. When we're hoping to move everyone to the new system very soon, players are fairly annoyed because it feels like we're not listening to them. Our team gets demoralized because players are yelling at them to fix the bugs, but they try to white knuckle it to the finish line, as we believe once players try this new system, they'll love it. Still, everything takes longer than we thought, and we're in this messy middle more than anyone would rationally want to be. We need to exit the messy middle as soon as possible, and we need our players, creators, and developers on the same system. So when they have feedback, and when they see bugs, and when they request new features, we're ready with changes and fixes. We can't do this if we're developing across multiple systems. Rooms 2 is a big transition moment coming up, and it has been a monumental team effort to get this new and improved system up and running. It's got the replicator, hierarchies, and more reliable reloading system, and a more secure networking model. It has higher limits and you can put way more circuits in each room. It has a better economic model with the IRO, and it's also set up for the future. We'll be able to get better stats on the creator hub, we'll have a path towards making the networking model far more secure than Rooms 1, and we should be able to get better load times and more reliable frame rate, even on low-end hardware. It'll support things like Maker AI and better breed of inventions that include the studio content. What does exiting the messy middle mean in practice for room creation? For users, for new users, we think that on balance, they're going to try. So what does this mean? So what does exiting the messy middle mean in practice for room creation? For new users, we think that on balance, they're going to be better off using Rooms 2 than R1 now. Soon it'll be the default for new room creation, and creators can still build Room 1 things, but we know defaults are powerful, and so a lot of time will be spent on Rooms 2. It is the future of building and creating a Rec Room. Our top creators, we need to offer white glove service. We'll be talking to them directly about how to move to R2, how we can help them transition, and what is holding them back, what we can do to fix, add, or do for them that brings them to the future. Updating systems is never about perfect parity with the old system. It's about providing sustainable tools for what's needed now and future-proofed as best as we can. That means R2 will never have a perfect 100% parity with Rooms 1. There are some things we just don't want to bring over because they create security or performance issues, and they've been trying to offer alternatives though. Things that help creators make the transition match what they built in Rooms 1 and realize all the new powerful capabilities that only Rooms 2 has. Ultimately, Rec Room needs their players, creators, and devs to be on the same platform. If we want players to be seeing new features and bug fixes each week, if we want the time between ask and answer to be short, we need to get out of the messy middle ASAP. And that's what Rec Room is working on right now. So pretty massive announcement for Rec Room, right? Well, it gets even better. In case you guys have questions for this whole messy middle situation and Rec Room struggles with Rooms 2, Sean, another Rec Room developer, had actually came out with a FAQ. If you guys are asking the question, what does this mean for Rooms 1 support? Rec Room claims that they are still supporting Rooms 1 at the moment, but as you've seen, they're managing 2 systems. They're slower at making fixes than they'd like to be, and the best way to solve all that is to get everyone onto the same system. So they're trying and pushing hard to get Rooms Rooms 2 there for you all. What does this mean for my current Rooms 1 rooms and projects? Well, Rec Room claims that they're looking at how we move content from Rooms 1 to Rooms 2, and you'll see us reaching out in the next few weeks to understand how we do this for certain types of Rooms 1 rooms. If you're starting a new project, Rooms 2 is a much better choice for the reasons we mentioned in the post. And lastly, what does this mean for Rooms 2 beta that our Steph been talking about for the past year? Rec Room answers this by saying, we think Rooms 2 stability and performance has improved and works well enough that we're dropping any alpha, beta / launch labels. We think these were causing too much confusion internally and externally. The next step here will be making it easier to select a Rooms 2 room during room creation, and we'll talk more about that once the changes go live. You'll still be able to create Rooms 1 rooms, but we want the UI to start pushing new creators to use Rooms 2 by default if they don't have a preference. The majority of this update is for builders, and the majority of you guys probably watching this don't really build inside of Rec Room. In case you do, then what are your thoughts? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. Now let's move on to developer talks. In case you guys don't know why this is important, basically the community in Rec Room and developers talk on Discord about new updates or features that are coming to Rec Room in the future. This started when a Rec Room player had asked Jode, a Rec Room developer, if there will ever be hand adjustments. Joe says probably never. They have to pick their battles and it's just not worth all the trouble. Picked a consistent scale that better matches real world scale and they're happy with that decision. Another question was presented to Joe, saying after the eye glint nose adjustments come out, are the makeups the next thing for the customization or the stubble beard or new face textures? Says that they're adjusting schedules currently, so he may take a little pause on some facial customization after the things we're currently working on ship. Makeup, freckles, and stubble are all still planned, but we still have a couple other simpler avatar tasks we may pivot to first. Stuff I'm pretty excited about, to be honest, but still my goal to get a rough roadmap shared publicly. But as you can imagine, there have been bumps in the road lately. Overall, I feel like the road ahead is bright and full of opportunities to make avatar experience much better across platforms. And he thinks 2025 is going to be a big year for new things at Rec. And when asked if there will ever be hair physics, Joe confirms that we'd like it very much. One of our devs had even made a prototype that was pretty performant, but building it properly into our system isn't a small task. I'd still love to see it happen this year if possible, but it's not on our immediate roadmap. It was confirmed by a Rec Room developer that they're reducing the rollout and the number of groups they're running. We have enough feedback and data to help us identify the gaps we need to close to be able to ship it to everyone. Only 20% of the player base will have widget watch for the rest of the month, but they're still planning on taking a slight break from the split test during the first week of April while we wait for more planned changes to ship. Planning on sharing out some fun facts that they learned about in the next couple of days as well, which still have yet to come out. They also continue on saying if things went well with the widget watch test, they were going to do an April Fool's where they would tell us that they had to give up on the widget watch and would keep what they have. Unfortunately, things do not work out for me to troll you all like that, and I also did not expect so many people to want the 2D UI. It seems like something was wrong with the widget watch and they had to decrease the rollout, unfortunately. And it's also confirmed that they have some other neat ideas around improving the overall navigation flow between the different menus in Widget Watch. Some of those ideas were inspired by player suggestions too. And they had a little disclaimer. This is purely an information gathering exercise, not a promise of future features we're going to add. They'd like to gather some info from those of you who can create rooms about the kinds of things that would be convenient to have in the quick access panel. Some examples of what I mean are a save room button so that you don't need to open up this room page, a settings room button, and a carousel of inventions that you can use. In case you guys ever wanted to participate in feedback or talks with the actual developers, I heavily recommend you guys join the Rec Room Discord server. There's plenty of developers that are pretty active inside that server and actually talk with the community during certain times of the day. I'll have a link down inside the description below, and of course, it was confirmed that you'll also be able to get and share our studio content via Rooms 2 inventions as well, so hopefully they help for that. And when asked how it would handle inventions being updated, it was confirmed that at the moment you'd have to delete the old one and spawn in the new one. Yeah, this is all live, so you can go and play with it in Rooms 2 if you want, but if the invention maker goes rogue, you'll always have access to every version they publish, so you can use the inventions detail page to get at all the back catalog versions. Technically, I think this opens people up to a lawsuit from Unity, so do it at your own risk, I guess, and I don't have a comprehensive answer for you except that we'll be responding to reports and takedown requests, and that studio content will have to go through the same moderation studio rooms do. And even when asked if UI could even be shared as our studio content via Rooms 2 inventions, it was confirmed yes, UI may not work on day one, but it's the next thing on the list. Initially, you'll have meshes, texture, custom audio, and studio functions. Hey, what can I get ya? Oh, wait, you're from my videos. Oh, well, If you guys don't already know, I have channel memberships on this channel, and I shout them out in every single video. So, let's get started with that stuff. And of course, these people include Toms, Cam VR, Blade VR, Nathan Creates Content, Dude, Nub Dub, Scott Walker, Jay, KobeFan76, Misha, Cam, Dex Storm, Statrix, Names Unlisted, Phyllis Arch, Nolan, The Dragon Boy, Garlic Bread, It's Ready RR, Dozer, BBB, Burning Owl, Raphael, Netflix9, and of course, Box David. Thank you guys for supporting the channel very much. I really do appreciate it. I love you. And of course, let's get back inside today's video. And that concludes all of our developer talks. We talked about Rooms 2 inventions, things that are going to be improving pretty soon for builders and stuff like that. If you guys watched all the way to this point in the video, I really do appreciate it, but this is the end. Of course, feel free to like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And I even have more Rec Room news that I've talked about recently. If you guys want to check out some pretty cool leaks that developers have actually leaked before inside of Rec Room's Discord server, check out my last video. And of course, people, I'll catch you guys inside the next one. Peace.